Jane. Jane Tabachnick is the executive director of New York Designs, and we'll talk a little bit.
So I wanted to start by talking about semantics. The word green is a word you hear a lot. So what does it mean? And I think this is a really important distinction to think about, because when someone says the green, doesn't mean that they have a recycling policy, or doesn't mean they have a recycling policy, they've removed the toxins from their product, they have reduced waste, they do things in the community. So what does it really mean? So I wanted to talk about the distinction between sustainable and green. Has anyone heard of the triple bottom line? Okay, great. So sustainable is a word, and the triple bottom line was coined by a gentleman whose name escapes me, who wrote a book, and the name of his agency is actually called Sustainable. So it talks about people, planet, and profits. Most people, I think, when they talk about green or think about green, are talking about the green or environmental aspect, which is reduce, reuse, and recycle. So it's really important, as Paul touched on, to really be specific, be clear about what you are doing, don't talk about things you're not doing, and communicate that. Wherever you are in the journey, communicate that. So, as I started to say, be transparent. What does that mean? Just be honest about what you're doing and communicate that. Let your prospects and customers know. I want to share a little story with you. I was looking for a printer for a line of greeting cards that I was working on, and I found a printer that was recommended to me, and I looked at their website. As Catherine would say, the original Gal Geek, and so the first place I'd look to check out a company, and I think this is an important point, is their website. And this company did not happen to mention anything about their green capabilities. In fact, they'd already gone through an FSC certification, that they used soy inks, they did things in the community, so they really had a whole sustainable policy, but it was nowhere to be found on the website. And the person who referred me to them had let the sales rep know that I was interested in their product and given my contact info. So I had already passed on this company in my mind because they did fulfill the requirements that I had. But I got a call from the sales rep, and I said, "You look like a great company, but this is what I'm looking for." He said, "We do that." So I said, "Great, tell me more about it." He told me they fulfilled everything on my checklist. And I said, "You know, just an idea, put it on the homepage of your website, because I can't be the only one who passed on your company or would have passed on it without knowing that." So let your prospects know. Okay, Paul mentioned greenwashing. So basically, as you can see, it's a term used to describe the perception of consumers that they're being misled by a company about the company's products, services, operations. And it didn't come out so clear, but there was a study done, if anyone would like to be linked to it, I can send it to you, on the types of greenwashing that companies do by category. So one of the sins, they called it, was vagueness, just being unspecific, saying we're green. So not being specific about how they're green. Fibbing, maybe saying that they're greener than they really are, or that they have a certification they don't have. Not having proper proof. Being the lesser of two evils, we're greener than that product, but that product really isn't green, so that's really misleading. The sin of relevance and the sin of, thank you.
Underlying offsets to their statement of green.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about opportunities in areas where you can green your company, and the reason that I'm talking about it in the context of marketing is these are all aspects you can use to put into your marketing story, your green mission statement, your environmental policy, or just on particular pieces of your marketing. So the product, the actual manufacturing process, materials, the recycling that you do, the energy use, social responsibility, what do you do in the community and for your employees, and fair trade, again, about the employees and how you treat the community. We're going to have time for Q&A afterwards, so.
We hope that we'll have.
Yeah. So, again, another point back to the story that I was sharing earlier about the printer. I love the saying, the tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it. So if you're doing something green, if your products have advantages that are environmentally friendly, you have a social responsibility policy, let people know. And as Erica Hansen, a green consultant product designer, says, there is a real shortage of green products out there, so if you have one, hype it. This is a competitive advantage. We really don't need to stress what's going on out there in the economy, so if you do have green products, capabilities, and are doing good things, you really need to let people know that story. Consumers are looking for those products and services. So I just wanted to show a couple of ways, and you're probably starting to see these, where you could show your green. So this is a business card. You can see it says printed on recycled stock, and it's got a fair trade symbol on it. This is a little marketing piece of bookmark from a printing company. They've got a nice green tagline. They've got another little statement about what they do. And just one little conversation that I have all the time in my own mind is, if you took green out of the palette of green marketing, what would all the...
What color would you use?
What color would you use? Because everyone thinks logos have to be green. So I think it's more than about just the logo or the tagline. It's about the whole marketing message that you're communicating. And that your entire company knows what you're doing that's green. So if someone calls and says, you have XYZ capability or do this, everyone in the company can speak about it and be a brand ambassador for you. So this is a website. So you can see there are a couple of different areas that highlight their different capabilities. So it's very clear, just look at this company, what they do, their green capabilities, and a couple of different ways that you can navigate to get to that information. This happens to be a project of policy.
One of the things that is really critical about the website is that everybody is time constrained. So you really have a 5-second window to communicate what you do, quality of work, is it commercial or is it residential, is it consumer, and what do you stand for? And that really has to be the message on the first page. There's so many websites that go through tricks and cartwheels to try and attract your eye, but by that time the phone is rang and you got to move on and you're going to lose the audience.
Here's the business card for the same company. You can see, this is my favorite piece of real estate, the back of your business card. Great place to add information about the company. Here you see that it's printed on recycled stock. It's FSC certified. You see a couple of different logos and certifications the company has. A lot of information that to their target audience is key information.
I just want to interrupt you for a moment and help Chuck with his learning curve. Recycled paper is no longer a significant cost factor. In some cases it costs a little bit more depending on what you're doing. But most of the printers that we deal with now stock it, it's standard on the floor, they have it by pallets, and it doesn't cost any more. It's available, as are other pieces of material.
Here's another website. This is a local company in Brooklyn that makes a counter surface that has the prestigious and hard-to-get cradle-to-cradle certification. Again, a number of different places where they talk about their product, their certifications, and you can navigate from a number of different places the information that you would be looking for if you're interested in something sustainable or green.
I think they're doing a lot of really good things with this company and with this website. They're on the furthest side of the spectrum of conversion. But what they really haven't accomplished here is it's so dense with text and copy that you really don't get the message of what they do.
And here is a large company, so they have a little bit more of a story than perhaps some of us would, but you can see again in a number of different places. Once you go to the About page, you can see they've got a whole list of their sustainability pages and policies, and then the different aspects of what they do, both in text and in imagery.